Hey everybody, it's Peggy Hasenauer coming to you from the University of Chicago Kovler Diabetes Center, or more specifically, a friend's empty home in Michigan. I hope you're doing well. Today we have with us a longtime Kovler friend, Miss Juanita Nave. Hi Juanita, how are you?
Hi, I'm great.
We're so happy to have you here. You have been certainly a longtime friend of ours, and I would love for you to share your journey with diabetes and also share the number of years that you've known our team, specifically Dr. Phillipson.
Okay, well, my journey starts really before my birth. I am a type 1 diabetic. So my mom, she was type 1. So growing up, I knew that she had this. And I remember, going to the store, getting cookies and ice cream and all of that, not knowing, you know, what that really was about. But
Sure.
when my mom was 42, I was a senior in high school. She actually went into a diabetic coma and did not come out.
Wow.
I was 18 when I lost
Wow.
complications of diabetes. Um, but at the time, I just knew what her struggles were. So when I went off to college, I was 19 as well, and I contracted diabetes. So now my start came, and it's been a long road. I mean, I'm 54 years old, so
Wow.
yeah, 35
Juanita,
years.
Juanita, you look great. You look great. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. I try to take care of myself because it's always in front of me what my mother went through and the short life that she lived. And I've always wanted to live a full, healthy life. And so that has always encouraged me. I may not do all that I'm supposed to do, but I do try and stay on the path because I know how important that triangle is. What you eat, your diet, uh,
Absolutely.
right, exercise, and medication. So those three work hand in hand, and it's given me the ability to kind of control my destiny. I have always done some type of exercise. I don't do it every day, but I have done things like I remember I met Dr. Phillipson when right after I had my son. He was 21. He's 21 rather, and
Wow.
yeah. Dr. Phillipson has always been great with information, and he directed me to the ADA. I have done work with the American Diabetes Association. For a while, they had a program where they partnered with African American churches. So I was an
Hmm.
ambassador. I was able to bring different doctors and healthcare professionals to the church to give information to those. And really, the diabetic diet is something that we all should adhere to just for health purposes. So everyone can get something of value out of that. I remember one time Dr. Phillipson told me that my blood pressure, and I've never had a blood pressure problem, but he said, wow, your blood pressure is getting a little high. And I looked at that and I knew with diabetes, I said, wow, this is not good. So that's when I started running. That was about 10 years ago. I started running and I actually ended up running a half marathon with my church. Never intended that.
But look at how far you've come, Juanita. Look at how far you've come. And if I'm doing my math correctly, you've had diabetes for 35 years.
Exactly. 35.
Holy cow. Holy cow. And can I ask you, is there any other diabetes in your family? I mean, certainly there's a genetic component, if you will, between you and your mother. But do you have any other family history of diabetes, type 1 or type 2?
Actually, it ran a lot on my mother's side.
Okay.
And actually, probably her mother, maybe her mother and father had,
Interesting.
and they both were deceased before I was even born. So I never met.
Wow. Wow. And
And
you're trying to manage this on your own as an adult. You're 19, your mother has just passed, and here you are now, a college freshman trying to manage all this on your own. Uh,
yeah,
I think I think what's interesting is you've been with Dr. Phillipson longer than we've had the Kovler Diabetes Center under the current title and team. Um, how do you stay positive even in the face of COVID-19? You are a professional, you're a teacher, if I'm not mistaken,
yes.
and you're also an actress and a singer, and you do so many fun things in your career. We'll get to that. But how do you stay positive in the face of COVID-19, and how do you manage your diabetes the best way you can, given all that's going on right now?
Well, before COVID, because I do struggle like different seasons throughout the year to remain consistent with my health. So I had purchased a bike slash elliptical.
Hmm.
So I have that in my living room in front of my TV. So that has become my daily thing. I do that. And I just feel better. And
Sure.
for a while, I was having a little neuropathy. I was having that problem. So I picked up my exercising, and if I don't exercise for a period, I can actually feel it in my limbs. So I know that I have to keep moving, and I don't want any complications. I've done pretty good. I wear glasses, but I haven't had any diabetic issues with my eyes, just wearing glasses. And when I go to the doctor every year, they're amazed, like, wow, we don't see any, and all I can do is just thank God and continue to push. Uh,
Sure. Sure. And consider how well you've managed your diabetes over the years, that every day you go out for a run, every day you make a better choice with food, every day you check your blood sugar. You're furthering your health down a path where you're not going to see as many complications, and that's hard to explain to people who really need to take better care of themselves. But what's interesting is that, as sad as it was, you had an incredible example in what can happen when you have a high blood sugar or when you have an episode. And perhaps that memory and knowing that and knowing what your mother went through is preventing some of these issues for you. But you work hard. I mean, Dr. Phillipson has shared with me that you work hard. Tell me a little bit about some of the fun things that you do outside of being a teacher.
well, I sing. I actually went to undergrad on a music scholarship, so I've been classically trained and all of that. I love singing. I've done things like sing in different choirs. One of the choirs I was for 2 years. I was in the Too Hot to Handle jazz gospel messiah that they had.
I know Too Hot to Handle. Um,
I was in the choir for 2 years.
I know Too Hot to Handle because one of
Yes.
the lead singers also sings at my church sometimes.
Oh, which
Oh,
one?
oh, this is gonna make me crazy. This is gonna make me crazy. I'll have to remember his name. I'm sorry that I
Oh,
can't remember
maybe
it right now.
Rod. Is it
Oh
Rod?
yeah, Rod. Rod sings at Old St. Patrick's Church where my husband and I got married.
Yes.
He is incredible,
Yes,
incredible.
him and his wife are leads.
Oh my goodness. So I've never met his wife, but like he has
Yes.
sung at our church and we can't believe it. I mean, we just
He's
cannot
awesome.
believe it. Yeah. And that's wonderful. I did not realize you were involved in that group, but just amazing. Um,
Yes.
so tell me like how you manage day to day. So as you're, especially as a performer, this is interesting. You're singing in a choir and then perhaps you're running to go over to teach and then maybe you're going to see your son. Do you keep all of your do you keep all your supplies with you? Do you have an extra blood glucose meter in the car
I
in your purse? Like how do you
do.
do this?
Well, actually, I've been with the Dexcom GCM for
Okay.
a couple of years now.
Okay.
Love that.
Great.
That is like one of the easiest things because it's connected to my phone.
Sure.
Some years back, I don't know if Dr. Phillipson shared this with you, but about 10 years ago, I was on the pump and they had not gotten all of the bugs out of it then. And because I do so much, I was having a problem with the lows. I had a couple of accidents. I mean, where
Okay.
I've like really been,
Okay.
and I just since then, Dr. Phillipson he said, "Hey, it's great, it's better. Let's do it." And I'm just kind of
You're nervous. You're nervous. You had a rough experience, and that's okay. There's
yeah,
many
I'm happy
people
with
that
the
we talk to.
GPM though. The
Yeah.
G
So tell me, do you drop your insulin or do you use pens?
I use pens. They're
Oh,
easy.
great. Yeah, they're so much easier. So much easier. Well,
I
that's
keep a
interesting. Well, maybe
extra set in
someday.
my car. I carry
Right.
some with me.
Great. And you got the continuous glucose monitors. That makes your life a lot easier. That's fantastic. How do you stay healthy in terms of snacking? So when you are really hungry and you're performing, and maybe you're just not going to have time to get to lunch, do you keep snacks with you? And what are your go-to snacks that you feel like are helpful to you that maybe are lower carb? I'm curious what your go-tos are.
Okay, so yes, I've been in the habit for years to keep food in my car. One thing I do, I keep like they have the little cans of the little fruit that, is light. I keep
Hmm.
those. I will keep some skinny popcorn, just different little snacks like that, those nuts as well. So
Hmm.
those are things that I keep in my car at all times. And usually whenever I go anywhere, I have a lunch bag with me that's going to have different things, if I'm going to miss a meal or if what they're eating is maybe not what I need to eat, I'll have something with me. I carry food with me all the time. People know that. So whenever they're with me and they get hungry, they say, "Hey, what you got?" What you
So I'm curious. So now that you're home, right? You're home and you're a teacher.
Yeah,
I'm assuming you're doing some online learning. Is that right? Are you
that
navigating the
is what
challenges of
I'm
online learning?
learning. I'm learning as they're learning.
Absolutely. Aren't we all? I mean, as a parent, I'm at home right now trying to homeschool and partner with a sixth grader and a third grader. So not so
Oh
easy,
boy.
but I'm learning as I go. And I value your perspective as a teacher, that you are still at home and you're still working. So has your diabetes management changed at all, or has it gotten better since you've been home?
Well, actually, the thing that is my greatest concern is not snacking as much because
Okay, fair point. Fair point.
being at
Yeah.
home with the food all the time.
Yes. Yes, we're all going into our fridge more often than we should. There's been tons of memes on Facebook about it.
Yeah.
So I understand. So certainly a challenge because every time you take a snack, you have to dose for it, or you have to consider how many carbs. And so I hear your point. I think that's a struggle though for many of us, even those of us who don't have diabetes.
Exactly.
What would you say to someone who's newly diagnosed, who's maybe at home right now watching this? What would you say to somebody newly diagnosed with type 1? Maybe they just got out of the hospital. Maybe they came home with the insulin. What would you say to them, Juanita?
I would say that this is a great time to educate yourself. It's also a great time that I don't know if they're doing support groups. I was involved in one years back, but it's been kind of hard to find one. But I would say, reach out to your dietitian, reach out to your doctor because everyone is so much more available online now.
You're not kidding. It's funny. I just posted something recently about how to get a virtual visit. And I posted something on Facebook, and I think it's so true. There's no wait time. There's
Yep.
no parking, you know, cost, right? There's no taking half a day off of
Yeah.
work. You can see some of the greatest specialists in the world at uchicagomedicine.org. On the website, you can see how to set yourself up for a virtual visit with one of our endocrinologists. To your point, one of our diabetes educators is available. Even our
Yes.
psychologists are available if you're feeling
Right.
down and you're feeling sad about your diagnosis. And I love what you're saying, that even though you're newly diagnosed and you're at home, you are empowered. You are empowered with technology to get on the computer and to Google diabetes and to learn about how to connect with people. And I think that's fantastic. Has your greatest sort of educational resource been the American Diabetes Association or diabetes.org, or are there other like websites or other things you've seen that you've liked educationally?
Um, I would say my first education came when I was diagnosed. I
Sure,
was at the Huntsville Hospital in Alabama, and
sure.
it had classes scheduled every day. So before I was even released, I got a great foundation. And then, yes, I believe I was connected maybe with a support group that helped, and also just reading the magazine. And I don't know if they still put it out.
They do. So the American Diabetes Association still puts out a magazine.
That helped me a whole lot. And I would get it monthly, when I was a member, and that really helped me a lot. It gave me a lot of people who were going through the
Mhm.
same things that I was going through, because they had so many great articles of people that, just their trials and tribulations. So that was a great source of education for me.
I appreciate that. And actually, in partnership with this video, when we put it out, whether it's on Facebook or it's on YouTube, we will make sure that we have some of these resources that you're suggesting available, specifically how to get this magazine. The American Diabetes Association puts out several magazines now, but isn't
Right.
it great to see someone's face on the cover? And it's sometimes a star, it's sometimes somebody you didn't know had diabetes, and here they
That's
are
true.
talking about their journey. So
Yeah.
I cannot thank you enough. You are so inspirational, Juanita, to talk to us today. We hope that we can do a part two with you. I would
Oh, that would
love
be
to like
awesome.
learn more from you, and maybe for you to do a little singing online. Why not?
Hey,
Why not?
that's always great. I'm always ready.
Oh my gosh, you're incredible. Thanks again. Really, truly an inspiration to us all. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, and have a great day too.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.